how do you create a level generator? It's a difficult question that can be answered in many ways, as there are tons of algorithms on the internet. But even then, you must combine and modify them to fit your needs. Since my game was all about exploration, a random generator was a need. In this video, I would like to explain my approach to this problem and how I solved it in my project. First things first, I should explain how the levels were generated before the change. The overall layout of the map was always the same. It was never randomized in any way. The only randomized aspect of it was the interior design of the rooms. The game would pick one of the available interior layouts and fill it up with loot. It was a simple solution to a less repetitive gameplay problem. However, the layout of the map was always the same, and as I mentioned before, I wanted my game to be about exploration. That moment, I decided to start working on a level generator. A good practice is to define what is your potential outcome and how do you want the levels to look. I wanted my new generator to create levels that are as accurate to the original as possible. Since it was tested before, I knew it would work perfectly.
That is... great. Why do you still chase me? What the hell, man? What the hell?
The main reason why the first layout felt so good and tactical is the looping aspect of it. If you look at the base layout, you can see that there is at least one place where the level is looped. This makes the gameplay fair for the player, as he can strategically avoid danger while simply going around.
He will probably come here. I'll let him pass. And I have to go to the right.
However, making this layout using random numbers is not that simple. Because they are random numbers, how do you even make random numbers know what a connection is? I found a solution to this problem. We start by placing multiple squares on top of each other. This results in this odd-looking shape. Now, if we are to draw the outline of this shape, we will notice that it is a looped layout with uneven edges. Exactly what we needed. Combining them together results in this, a layout with a predefined number of looping corridors. Now, all the programmers will tell me that there is a chance for these layouts to be just a square, or to contain multiple shapes. But no, I predicted that, and if that happens, it just makes a new one. It will restart the process until the outcome matches all the requirements. For every new connection, we run the same script, remove the intersections, pick the longest one, and we end up with the final result. A level that is perfectly looped. As good as it looks from this perspective, if we were to look inside, it would look like this. A bit boring, innit? Which meant I had to spend another week or more to code an algorithm that will do interior design for me. If you wondered what took me so long to release a new video, then yeah, now you know. As I mentioned before, I want to be as close to the base level as possible. I decided to make a mix between a preset-based generation system and a completely random one. The presets were a piece of cake. I split them into two groups, full room presets and movable presets. Full room presets, as the name suggests, are picked for the entire room. They are split into groups that are filled with different type of furniture. For example, there is a group of presets with chests and a group without them. I can specify the amount of chests patterns in the level to have more control over the loot. And when it comes to the movable presets, they simply work the same way, except they pick a random offset position that fits inside the room. Some of the objects also require a nearby wall to be spawned in, but that is just an additional raycast check really. That leaves us with the random furniture placer. This is where it gets tricky, as I had a couple of issues with this. The main one being that I had to use physics calculations for it to work. Oh yeah, I should probably explain what that means. When working on many world generators, I realized that in Unity there are two ways, well, there could be more, I just used two, you can use to solve this issue. First, and the quickest one to use, is erase as maps and avoid any collision checks. This means I can run all my calculations during just one frame. This, however, makes coding very difficult as you must check if your coordinates are inside of an array and you need to navigate through it. The second option is to use physics calculations. These are much easier to use in code as you just relate to positions in space. However, to perform a physics calculation, you must get all the collisions updated. Whenever you place an object, its collisions are calculated next frame. To put it simply, every time you want to check anything after placing new objects, you must call an update and wait one frame. This means that your generating process can take from one frame to any amount. Because I wanted to experiment first, I picked the second approach. If I will find more time, I might consider updating to the not physics-based solution, but for now, this will do. To generate random furniture, I needed to create prefabs. These objects hold all the necessary data, such as required space or spawn chance. Some of the objects require a nearby wall, so there is also a check for that. Lastly, we just need to place these down. I decided to place them randomly in a line. First, the program picks a random furniture prefab and spawns it. Once the object is placed, the physics gets updated and the next object can be spawned. The script runs until all the objects are spawned in, or if it fails to spawn a furniture prefab. As I mentioned before, the script takes some time to run. Normally, every wall had a chance to spawn a furniture, taking approximately 30 seconds to create the full level. I decided to not spawn furniture whenever there is a full preset spawned in the room. This reduced the calculation time from 30 seconds to just 6. If I were to change the generation from physics-based to array-based, the program would run in a couple of frames, instead of a few seconds. For now, I leave it as it is. All this hard work leaves us with a result like this. It looks amazing and I am very happy about the outcome. The only thing left to do is to fill the place up with small details and loot, but this is a topic for another devlog. I must admit that working on this generator taught me a valuable lesson. Making these generators isn't difficult, it's just time consuming. My advice for making random generators is to think twice if your game really needs one. It's a long process that will take some time to make the result worth it. Thank you for making it this far. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I would also appreciate any feedback about the game, as I am interested to hear your opinion. That is everything from me. I wish you all a fantastic day and see you soon.